Yo, what's up, movie people? I hope you're doing well. This is going to be my tier list for all the movies I saw in May. I saw 10 new releases. Not too many, but let's get to the tier list. Alright, let's do this. First up, we got Blackberry. Basically, the story telling how Blackberry became as famous as it was and then its big downfall. Let me just say that this movie was like a really big surprise for me. It's like such a great, well done story in my opinion, and some of the camera work reminded me of The Office. So if you like The Office, this movie kind of will be for you. And the acting here is awesome. Glenn Howerton plays like an excellent, like, villain-esque character, but he's kind of a bad person in the movie, so I'm gonna call him a villain. But honestly, I really did enjoy this movie a lot. I felt like all the performances were outstanding. There's some hilarious comedy in it. The story was done very well, and as I said, the camera work is really good. I love the camera work of this, and it's a pretty good movie. So I'm actually gonna put it in the great tier for now. Next up, we got Love Again. This is kind of like one of those cheesy romance movies that we have all the time these years. I don't really have a lot to say. I gotta say it's kind of a bland story, but there are some like little beats in there that I did enjoy that I thought were like kind of unique and kind of funny. I like some of the ideas of how she was texting basically her dead boyfriend's phone, and the other guy like starts noticing her because of that. That's kind of like a unique idea, but then you get to those bland tropes of romantic comedy. So overall on that one, I'm gonna put Love Again in the bad tier because I didn't really care for it too much by the end. Next up, we got Hypnotic, Robert Rodriguez's new film with Ben Affleck. I don't know why Ben Affleck chose to be in this movie because it is not good at all. Like, this is kind of like if you take Inception, Interstellar, and like 5 other sci-fi movies and put them together and just had worse visual effects, worse script, worse plot, then you have Hypnotic, because I watched it like 2 weeks ago and I hardly remember it at all. Except that I kind of like the ending and resolution and Ben Affleck's character, where he goes in the ending. I kind of like that. But like the whole villain and the whole plot, just like, it's like so weird. And it's like a video game. You're just going from point A to point C to point B. It's like there's no actual plot in this. And everyone kind of gives kind of a stale performance. Ben Affleck's trying his best, but the performances are not great at all. So I'm going to give Hypnotic in the bad tier. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the first movie I saw in May. And yeah, I have the review up on my channel. This is my favorite movie of the year so far. I think it's amazing. It's amazing how they told this story. It's amazing how James Gunn ended this trilogy so perfectly. One of my favorite superhero trilogies. One of my favorite trilogies in general. I thought that this movie is so emotional, so powerful. The action is so good. Best soundtrack out of the 3, I think. And that hallway scene is so good. I cannot wait to keep rewatching this movie over and over again. I gush about it a lot in my spoiler review, so check that out. But Guardians 3 is going to go in the amazing tier. Next up is Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. This is the documentary about Michael J. Fox, and it's a really good movie. It's a really well put together documentary. I'm not really a documentary type of person, so I don't really have a lot of experience in watching too many documentaries. But I gotta say, this story of Michael J. Fox was like really good to hear. You know, you don't hear a lot about Michael J. Fox and how he's doing, how his condition is, but he's working through it, and it's good to hear this little story about how he ended up how he did, and like how he started his acting career. That was really interesting to me. So I'm gonna put Still in the great tier. Next up is Fast X, Family the movie, basically. Fast X, it was a movie. Let me just say that it's definitely a movie. It's definitely a popcorn movie too. You know, I feel like the script is just so stupid, but I don't care. Like, it's like I don't walk into Fast and Furious for the script. I walk in for the action. And let me just say, this one had pretty good action. Had basically 90% believable action, more than Fast 9, and the cliffhanger was kind of crazy. I really enjoyed the cliffhanger a lot. I was like, boom, mind blown at that cliffhanger. And Jason Momoa really does make this movie better than it actually is. So I'm going to put Fast X in the okay tier. Next up, we got The Mother, Jennifer Lopez's new movie for Netflix. It's another Netflix dud in my opinion. A lot of people end up liking this movie, but I just don't see a lot of special, like, I don't think this movie is special at all. Like, I feel like I've seen this movie so many times. Like, I feel like if I look at Plane from this year, earlier this year, I feel like Plane is so much better as like an action drama movie, because this movie really sells it in the trailer as a full action movie, but it's really like 80% drama, 20% action, and the action at the end really isn't too like, it's not like Extraction level or The Gray Man level, so it's not that entertaining. And Jennifer Lopez really does try to carry it with her performance, but it's just not enough. So the mother's going to be placed in the bad tier. Next up, we got The Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey's new movie she's in. I think this movie is actually really surprising. It surprised the hell out of me. As I said in my review, it's actually such a fascinating film. You know, Disney live actions really don't need to happen, but I really like exploring the world in live action. Really adds more depth to the world and like adds more clarity in I think. And Halle Bailey really brought this film together, I think, with her amazing performance. Some of the visuals are amazing, some of them are a little lackluster, but I think that Sebastian was a great character. Daveed Diggs really did an amazing job with him. And I really did like Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. You know, I think she did an amazing job. I think the whole movie is pretty good. It's a little long, but you know, that end fight had to happen, so I give it the length issue. But you know, I really was surprised with it, so I'm going to put Little Mermaid in the good tier. It's almost at the great tier, maybe on rewatch. Next up we got Fool's Paradise. Charlie Day's directorial debut. It's like him kind of like being Charlie Chaplin, I guess you could say. It is not good. I saw this a week ago and I don't remember it at all. That's not even me having a bad memory. Like, I remember Guardians 3 so much because it's so good. But this movie is just not good. There's so many cameos of so many famous stars, but it's just such a dumb movie. It's really boring at times, and it just doesn't do anything for me. It's not funny at all. So I'm going to put Fool's Paradise in terrible. Last up, we got White Men Can't Jump, the new remake with Jack Harlow in it. And let me just say, this movie actually wasn't that bad. You know, I thought it was going to be so much worse, but it's not that bad. It's actually pretty funny, and Jack Harlow nails the comedic moments. And I was like kind of surprised, because you don't imagine Jack Harlow to be a comedic actor or even actor at all. I think he does those comedic moments really well. He needs to work on his dramatic moments a little bit more, but he's really good at the comedic ones. And it's a pretty short movie. I gotta say, I had a fun time with it. It's not like a great movie, because the script isn't really great, and the plot is just like kind of like one of those throwaway plots. But you know, I had a good time, so I'm gonna put White Man Can't Jump in the okay tier. All right, time for the final ranking. In terrible, it's gonna be Fool's Paradise, still there. In bad, I think I'm gonna move The Mother above Hypnotic and put Hypnotic at the bottom. And Love Again can stay up there, because romantic comedies, they're usually better than those bad action movies. Okay tier, I'm going to leave that tier as it is. I love Jason Momoa and Fast X. Good tier, Little Mermaid. It's the only one there, and it's pretty good. Keep it there. And the great tier, I'll keep that as it is. I agree with that ranking. And the amazing tier, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the only one there. So that is my tier list of May. I cannot wait for June. June's going to have a lot in it. Let me know what you guys' ranking is of the movies you saw in May. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.